Good day mga igsuon. Today let us continue our study of the Gospel of Luke. Ngayon tayo ay nasa chapter 15 verses 11 to 32. Ito yung kwento ng Prodigal Son, which may be familiar to many of us. So follow me as I read the passage Luke 15:11 to 32. I will be reading from the New Living Translation. Verse 11. To illustrate the point further, Jesus told them this story. A man had two sons. The younger son told his father, "I want my share of your estate now before you die." So his father agreed to divide his wealth between his sons. A few days later, this younger son packed all his belongings and moved to a distant land, and there he wasted all his money in wild living. About the time his money ran out, a great famine swept over the land, and he began to starve. He persuaded a local farmer to hire him, and the man sent him to his fields to feed the pigs. The young man became so hungry that even the pods he was feeding to the pigs looked good to him, but no one gave him anything. When he finally came to his senses, he said to himself, "At home even the hired servants have enough food to spare, and here I am dying of hunger. I will go home to my father and say, 'Father, I have sinned against both heaven and you, and I am no longer worthy of being called your son. Please take me on as a hired servant.'" So he returned home to his father. And while he was still a long way off, his father saw him coming. Filled with love and compassion, he ran to his son, embraced him, and kissed him. His son said to him, "Father, I have sinned against both heaven and you, and I am no longer worthy of being called your son." But his father said to the servants, "Quick, bring the finest robe in the house and put it on him. Get a ring for his finger and sandals for his feet, and kill the calf we have been fattening. We must celebrate with a feast, for this son of mine was dead and has now returned to life. He was lost, but now he is found." So the party began. Meanwhile, the older son was in the fields working. When he returned home, he heard music and dancing in the house, and he asked one of his servants what was going on. "Your brother is back," he was told, "and your father has killed the fattened calf. We are celebrating because of his safe return." The older brother was angry and wouldn't go in. His father came out and begged him, but he replied, "All these years I've slaved for you and never once refused to do a single thing you told me to do. And in all the time you never gave me even one young goat for a feast with my friends. Yet when this son of yours comes back after squandering your money on prostitutes, you celebrate by killing the fattened calf." His father said to him, "Look, dear son, you have always stayed by me, and everything I have is yours. We had to celebrate this happy day, for your brother was dead and has come back to life. He was lost, but now he is found." What does this passage teach us? We can find three things in the three characters of the story. Una, tingnan natin yung tatay. We can see that he was rich and had many properties. We also saw that he was very generous. Kahit binastos siya ni Bunso, binigay pa rin niya yung gusto ng anak niya. And when his son realized his sins and came back to his father's house, napakabait pa rin ng tatay. Napaka-gracious niya sa anak niya na kahit nagkasala siya ng ganon kabigat. The father welcomed his son with open arms. He had compassion for his son. Ito pa malupit, nagpa-fiesta pa siya para kay Bunso, even after what he did. Now this is what our Heavenly Father is like. Gracious, merciful, generous, full of compassion for the lost. That's our Heavenly Father. Now, let's look at the younger son. Ano mga katangian ang makikita natin kay Bunso? Well, he's entitled, disrespectful. He likes to go his own way, and he was unwise. And later on, he reaped the consequences of his mistakes. But he also realized that he needed to come back to his father's house. He knew that he sinned, and he was willing to ask for forgiveness. Ganyan din tayo. We are sinners who like to go our own way. We are disobedient to our Heavenly Father. We often do things that dishonor Him. But once we realize that we are sinners, and once we come back to our Father and ask for His forgiveness, He will welcome us back to His house with open arms. Last but not the least, tingnan naman natin yung panganay, si Kuya. The older brother is often overlooked in this passage, but we can still learn something from him. Ano ang naging reaksyon ni panganay pagbalik ni Bunso? Di ba nagalit pa siya? Ayaw niyang samahan yung tatay at kapatid niya sa celebration. Nainggit siya na binigyan niya ng piyesta yung swine niyang kapatid, pero siya na masunurin sa tatay niya, hindi man lang nabigyan ng pabor. So, napagsabihan tuloy itong si kuya ng tatay niya. In verse 31, the father said, "Everything I have is yours." Tapos sinabi pa niya, "Your brother was dead and has come back to life. He was lost, but now he is found." That's in verse 32. That older brother is like some of us too. Kasi meron sa atin na mga matagal nang nakakakilala sa Panginoon at matagal na rin nagsaserve sa Kanya, pero minsan, kung meron tayong nakitang makasalanan na lumapit sa Diyos at maraming nasiyahan sa Kanya, tayo pa yung galit. Sasabihin pa natin na mas mabait tayo, mas banal tayo, or mas malinis tayo kaysa sa Kanya. This is nothing but pride. Hindi naman nagkulang ang Panginoon sa pag-bless sa atin. Lahat naman ng kailangan natin, binibigay niya. More importantly, lahat naman tayo makasalanan. We were once like the younger son. Napariwara, pero nanumbalik din sa ating Heavenly Father. So what gives us the right to act entitled and to complain? Nothing. That's just pride, and being prideful is not being Christ-like. Okay, so these three truths are what the passage teaches us. The first truth is that we have a gracious, kind, and loving Heavenly Father. Second truth, we were all like the younger son in the past. And third, we have the tendency to be prideful like the older brother. So it is my hope that we remain humble, Christ-like, and we always run to our Heavenly Father whenever we commit a mistake or fall into sin. Humility is the key, not pride. God bless po sa ating lahat, and may the Lord bless you the rest of the day.